Good morning, everyone. This is Mark Cabrera. Welcoming you to our seminar today about the 4 pillars of success of a successful real estate business. So today we're going to be talking about some of my family members love me. Some of them don't really like me. So it's just the way it is, dysfunctional. So, are you willing to go out of your comfort zone and network with other vendors? This is another thing. Your vendors can refer you business. The people that you work with already, or the people that you're doing business with, the plumbers, the heating HVAC people, the estate sale person. I mean, you have to have an arsenal of all these vendors to begin with to be able to run a decent business, because when your clients need something, they need to be able to rely on you to actually be able to get the right people for them. I'm actually the resource for everybody that has issues with their homes. I always tell them, hey, listen, you run into a problem with your dishwasher, call me. you have a plumbing, you have a roof problem, call me. Not necessarily I'll be the roofer, but then what happens is I send the business to a roofer, and guess what? Law of reciprocity kicks in again, right? I'm in touch with that roofer. Roofer actually likes the fact that they're getting business from me, and they send business back. So, this is the part that I was telling you about adjusting and correcting. The market is shifting. You have to be willing to adjust to the way the market is going. So on a market where it became a seller's market, listings is key. I mean, I haven't really not sold a single listing in the past year and a half, 2 years, because it's so easy to sell listings, right? So just work on picking up listings. How do you pick up listings? Well, there's many ways to pick up listings, but the best way to pick up listings would be able to actually kind of reach out to people who are homeowners. And anybody could be a homeowner, right? People in your community could be homeowners. Your vendors could be homeowners. But what do? You plant a seed in them, telling them, hey, it's the best time to sell if you're going to upgrade your home. If you want to upgrade your home, it's the best time to sell a house. I have a client, actually, as a matter of fact, I told him it's the best time to sell a home and then rent for the next 2-3 years when the market crashes, then buy a home. And guess what? They're living in a rental for three-year rental until their daughter graduates, and they're planning on buying a home in Florida. By then, I'll have my broker's license there, and I'll sell them a home there. But I actually sold their like $600,000 single house because it's the peak of the market. It's like, you can't get any more profit than what you would get on your house in this kind of market. Why don't you sell your home? Sure enough. And the lucky thing about it, I found a buyer who didn't have an agent and walked into my open house. So they became a customer. I sold the house and I make this kind of income. And then I found them a rental to stay for 3 years. And when 3 years come around, they'll buy a house in Florida, and they'll buy a house in Florida through me. And guess who implanted all that seed? I was the idea guy. I gave them that idea, and it worked. You see? So now they're planning on that stuff. They have their money like stashed away, or like $300,000-$400,000 actually stashed away in their bank. They're just waiting for the market to crash so they can buy a house, single house in Florida, cash, paid off, no mortgage. It's the best deal in the world. I said, you can't work forever, right? There's your retirement plan. And they loved it. I'm the one who implemented that. How long it took me? It took me about a year of communicating with them and kind of having them think about this. And then a year later, it blossomed into a tree. So you create your own market here. What people don't understand, our business is relational. Our business is confidence. People confide in us about their issues and their problems or their dreams or their aspiration. Our job is to actually create a plan that we're, of course, part of the plan to actually make those things happen for them. And then when you achieve it, they feel great about you because you achieved their dream. And I'm working on achieving their dream. Really, my intention is when the market shifts, they're going to be buying another year and a half from now, they'll be buying a house in Florida. And then they actually called me up the other day. They've deviated from the plan, and they're like, Mark, I want to buy a house now. It's so exciting in Florida. I saw this, da, 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 da. And I reminded them, hey, listen, you're deviating from our plan. Just wait a little bit more. What's the rush? Your daughter's still going to high school, finishing high school another year. Why would you stress yourself out right now? Why would you break a lease? Do you have it for a 3-year lease? And she's like, you know what, Mark? I'm going to stop looking. I said, great. Stop looking. So my job is to direct them to the right place, because at the end of the day, when I achieve their goals, their best friend, her best friend, she referred to me, bought a house with me. Her cousin bought a house with me. Her mom bought a house for me. Her daughter sold a house with me. I mean, I probably got like 7, 8 clients from them already, right? And one of the things I can tell you, I'm one of the most patient people, because when it got very, very dicey and tricky and very stressful, at some point, she said some things to me that I was like so hurt. But then I told him, it's like, you know, in that kind of situation, people actually, people react differently when they get stressed. So later on down the line, she apologized for actually behaving the way she did, right? But to me, the way I look at it is, you have to understand the psychology of individual people for you to understand how you can maneuver through the process and being able to actually really help people. Because my ultimate objective here is to help people. So whatever it takes to help people, and if I have to remind them that this is our plan, then they're deviating from it, then, it works. So here's the thing about the adapting part. Are you willing to adjust your way of doing business based on what's happening in the marketplace? This is the reason why I brought up the marketplace, what's going on in the marketplace. Because you need to start preparing on actually reaching out to asset managers, banks, applying to become a vendor to some of these banks, because at some point when foreclosures go up or short sale go up, they'll, guess what? They assign agents. And if you're in the list, you have a better chance of being assigned a listing. You go on their site, look for vendors, call them up. Hey, how do I become actually a vendor for your company that would sell real estate? I mean, that's one way to do it. So are you adapting to the new way of marketing as the market changes? There's agents that I know in the past that's still not gotten into the internet or social media at all, and they're not getting any business from that. And they used to be top agents, but now they're actually phased out. Why? Because they haven't adjusted to how the market and how business is being done in this marketplace. So you have to be able to actually kind of adjust to how people are marketing their services out there and be able to reach out to more people this way. And are you adjusting your time to become more productive? Because some people want to do everything, but if you can delegate things that cost $15 or minimum wage to other people, and you can focus on the things that make you $50 to $100 an hour, then that's the kind of income you're going to make. So one of the things we've done now, actually, my wife and I, we hired a person to clean our home, because we don't have time for that. We're both working, and we still want to be able to spend time with our kids. So we have somebody coming in twice a week to clean our home. Back then, when I was actually with my mentor came up to me. He's like, "You have a full-time nanny and someone cleaning your house every day?" I'm like, "Yeah." It's like, I have to clean my house myself. Man, what kind of life are you living? I mean, that's a good life. You don't have to do anything at home. I'm like, no, because I'm busy working. I'm busy making my $100 an hour or $200 an hour. So making my time more productive this way. Are you willing to correct and adjust your plans as the market changes? So you want to be ahead of the curve, like I said. Before short sales start to come up, be more knowledgeable about it. Take courses about it. Be able to kind of like understand where the business is going to come from, and then try to figure out how to get in there before foreclosures happen. Be aware that, you need to be reaching out to asset managers and banks to try to create a relationship with them. So these are the things that we need to be aware of. So lastly, I'm going to leave you guys with a quote. So this is, according to Darwin's Origin of Species, it is not the most intellectual of the species that survives. It is not the strongest that survives, but the species that survives in the one that is able best to adapt and adjust to the changing environment in which it finds itself. So this is a quote from Leon Magginson. He was a professor, and he was discussing about how the oil markets were back then. So to be able to change with the business, within the market, and how the market moves. This is really key to everything that we're doing. So if you want to actually kind of grow your business, focus on these pillars that allows you to actually grow. But more importantly, is be able to adjust, which is the last pillar that we just talked about, to the way the market is moving. So thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Thanks.